Welcome back to the Cybersecurity Advent Calendar. Today is the 22nd of December, and it's not many days left. Let's open the door for today. And it's over there. Purdue.
Oh, the Purdue model. I think there's a lot of things to be said about the Purdue model. It's an old reference architecture from the 90s, and for me, it's discussion model. It creates a common toolbox in that sense that when we are talking about the levels, we know what kind of assets or devices industrial control systems are on which level and IT level, etc. But for me, the most important thing is that remember that this is not a cybersecurity or security architecture. It's a discussion model that should be for talking about these things. When it comes to securing industrial control system or OT environments, for me, the most important thing is that you have the security architecture, the security reference architecture, and you're looking at frameworks like IEC 62443 that describes this is how you secure this industrial control system, for example.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think we need to emphasize that a bit more because, as Matthias says, this is a discussion model. It's not an implementation model. And I think I've seen too many times and been sitting in too many meetings where everything is referenced back to the Purdue model as an implementation model, and you try to build your security based on this. That really does not work because it's made to give people, as Matthias said, a toolbox to discuss things across the lines of IT, OT, and other departments. It's not meant to exactly say how you're supposed to divide the levels and create the security framework around it, because it's absolutely not that. So it's much better to look into 62443 or other implementation guidelines, but stay away from Purdue as an implementation model.
Definitely. So background and history, Purdue model created in the 90s by the Purdue University as a foundation for the design and protection of OT networks. Before that was basically no structure for how these OT systems were supposed to be connected and interact, if they were interacted in that sense with IT system, or they were air-gapped. And what we see is that they brought together these concepts in that sense with this level, and what are the assets, what are the system, what are the devices that are supposed to be on these levels, and communicate with each other basically in order to have the communication flow going in the right direction.
I don't think we are going to go into all of these different levels, but one of these levels that are interesting to discuss is basically the DMZ layer, the demilitarized zone. That I think originally in the Purdue model it was placed on level 2.5. I think nowadays it's more or always referred to as 3.5. I mean the gray area between IT and OT, where you put these services that are connected to both worlds and how they interact and push information in and out of OT.
There, as you mentioned, the DMZ is an extremely important part of this. We need a safe and secure buffer between IT and OT, where we know that we can extract data and possibly also push in data. But looking at the Purdue model in that sense with half levels, for me, it's a bit confusing rather than using the term DMZ. And I mean, if we look at this with security architectures, they are usually, they bear resemblance in that sense with levels with Purdue models, but they are in fact security architectures and might not have all of these levels and might be one-offs, all of them unique in that.
What we're seeing now, recent times have been, I mean, multiple parallel 3.5 DMZs. So you have separated or segmented really even the DMZ level into different parts, having different functionalities connected.
But if we look at what is important for these type of architecture or discussion is that we know that we want to have firewalls in between these levels. We want to control traffic. We want to make sure that the traffic between the level are, well, kept as tight as possible in order to have a secure and nice communication flow between the level.
Definitely. And I mean, the Purdue model was really, it was born out of the need to have or create the structure for the interconnections between IT and OT, but also how to structure the network levels within OT. And it's become one of the cornerstones for discussing cybersecurity within OT.
Yes, for sure. We all talk about these levels, and we all talk about the firewalls and between them, and the DMZ, of course, nowadays more than ever. So yeah, it's a fundamental part, whether we like it or not.
Thank you, Matthias and Torbjörn, for the insights into the Purdue model and how it's connected to OT. Learn a little every day. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.